yo yamamo akwa abastronko so eba POG Media so yes safe no aba obe subscribe obe like dwumadi no wa share na ma afoforo enso ensa akabi please click on the notification bell so send be the news bi ato platform no so a wonso wahunu de aircall ene de air ba yanko yensam na yemfa ensam dodo na no enye de embra wa ye bo e de era eye parliament house sisi e hye eye majority eye kokosa se omo ye NDC for no seja omo se eye ruling na eye Supreme Court e de buy no mo njintumunti no still na no they are what majority omo ye majority enti e na omo hold a press conference omo reject eye Supreme Court eye ruling no Supreme Court ruling no omo ye dey omo reject a chese omo chese hwe the Supreme Court de buy no there is no way on base there omo beje e dey atumunti no. Breaking news Ebana said they have reject the ruling of the Supreme Court. Anyhow they are going to control a parliament with their majority a kokosuno. Their press conference from a parliament
indicated that Honorable Andrew Esiama Mwako had forfeited his membership of the New Patriotic Party. This led to his immediate removal from the Parliament by Right Honorable Professor Reverend Mike Aaron Okwe, the then Speaker of Parliament. Right Honorable Mike Aaron Okwe concluded that Article 97(1) automatically kicked in without the need for any court order. Indeed, no one legally questioned his decision. My statement drew some comments from the floor as allowed by the standing orders of this House. After listening to the comments of members which often turned into agreement, the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, requested for 2 days to ponder over the statement, comments and argument that ensued to enable him give a considered response. On Tuesday, 17th October 2024, the Speaker responded to the statement and agreed that the fact contained in the statement were indeed true. This is because the notice of pool issued by the Electoral Commission of Ghana in respect of those constituencies confirmed that the said individuals had indeed engaged in the conduct alleged in my statement. On the basis of this fact not being in dispute, Mr. Speaker proceeded to evaluate the circumstances and decided that their conduct breached Article 97(1)(g) and (h). Pursuant to Order 18 of the Standing Orders, the Right Honorable Speaker communicated to the House the vacancies of the 4 seats. For the avoidance of doubt, the Speaker's decisions to declare the 4 seat vacant is lawful exercise of his responsibilities derived from the 1992 Constitution and the Standing Orders of Parliament. The effect of the Speaker's declaration is that currently we no longer have an independent member of Parliament. The MPP has 135 members of Parliament only. The NDC has 136 members of Parliament, and there is no second Deputy Speaker of Parliament. This effectively alters the configuration of the 8th Parliament significantly. The NPP group in Parliament are now the minority caucus as defined by the relevant sections of Order 6 of the Standing Orders of Parliament. The minority caucus means members of the party or parties that have the second largest number of seats in Parliament. Honorable colleagues, the NDC MPs in Parliament now constitute the majority caucus in line with the Standing Orders of Ghana's Parliament. Yeah. Fellow countrymen and women, the NDC now constitute the majority caucus in this 8th Parliament. We will jealously protect our new majority status and will not bow, retreat, nor surrender our lawfully earned status. Yeah. Yeah. I repeat, fellow countrymen and women, the NDC now constitute the majority caucus in this 8th Parliament. We will jealously protect our newly majority status and will not bow, retreat, nor surrender our lawfully earned status. Yeah. We will also not abdicate our responsibility to the people of Ghana, no matter what. Nothing, absolutely nothing, will change this position. We have fortified that the proceedings of Parliament shall not be impeached or questioned in any court or placed out of Parliament. Any interference with the business of Parliament is unlawful, unacceptable, and shall be resisted. We have never hidden our position that we are in Parliament for the ordinary people of Ghana. It is indeed true that we will use our new majority numbers to benefit Ghanaians by introducing private members' bill to remove the e-levy and to reduce the suffering of the people of Ghana. It is also true that we will use our new majority to remove the betting tax and other nuisance taxes. Already, this NPP government has made Ghana a high tax regime, and that it is affecting the survival of businesses and the people of Ghana. We assure you that we will use our new majority to protect businesses and the people of Ghana, as we have always maintained. We are confident that the Right Honourable Speaker has acted fairly, firmly, and lawfully in a matter that is perfectly within his province. Speaker Bagbin has had a distinguished and unprecedented 32-year career in Parliament of Ghana. Right Honourable Alban Bagbin is a courageous and resolute leader. We stand with him, pledge our support, and urge him to protect the dignity and sanctity of the Parliament of Ghana. In the same vein, we call on Ghanaians to stand by the Speaker and resist oppressors' rule. From day one, we have not reneged on our fight for the people of Ghana. The opportune time has come, and we are determined to immediately commence the process to reverse the Akuffo Bawumia mess and put our country back on track. The people of Ghana can count on us and be rest assured that the NDC majority will protect the interests of the people of Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Leader, Majority Leader. We will now take questions from the media. Yes.
Thank you very much, Leader.
Yes,
Leader, my name is Akuffo from Judgės. So, Leader, on Friday, the Supreme Court unanimously ruled to stay.
I didn't get. Did you say the majority leader? I filled in the question to the majority leader.
You say leader. You say leader. Let him continue.
Address it properly.
The Supreme Court of Ghana
Yes.
The Supreme Court unanimously stayed the ruling or the decision of the Speaker. Rightly so, some persons have criticized the decision of the Supreme Court. And we know that when the Supreme Court speaks, it is law until same is set aside or vacated. On what basis, therefore, will NDC group call itself majority when the Supreme Court has purported to set aside what Speaker Bagbin did last week, Thursday?
Other questions? Yes, more questions. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Majority Leader.
Yes.
Right. My name is Simon Agena, the Dean of the Parliamentary Press Corps. Since the statement or the decision of the Speaker to declare those 4 seats vacant, NPP has finally admitted that Professor Michael Quay was wrong. Why is the new majority pushing for a wrong precedent in Parliament?
Thank you. Let's get a third one, then we respond. Anyway, there's no hand up now, so we will take the response.
To the question about the purported directive of the Supreme Court to suspend a decision of Parliament, we are not aware of any law or any constitutional provision that enables anybody to suspend a decision of the Speaker in Parliament properly constituted. What we know is that under Article 2 of the Constitution and Article 130 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court has jurisdiction to make a declaration as to whether or not an act is consistent or inconsistent with a provision of the Constitution. But to suspend a decision of Parliament or a directive of the Speaker in Parliament, we are not aware of the legal basis of a conduct like that. Be that as it may, we as parliamentarians act on the basis of communication coming to us from the Speaker. We don't hear things in the news and act on them, or cite copies of records of proceedings in any court on social media and act on them. We act on the basis of communication coming to us from the Right Honorable Speaker. And if that communication says we should walk into the sea, we walk into the sea. Because we listen only to the Speaker and nobody else in relation to the integrity, the legality, and the appropriateness of what has happened in the chamber of Parliament. So that is my brief response to you in terms of your question. And the second question, which relates to the precedent that has been set by Mike Okwe, and why we in the majority today will be seeking to benefit from that precedent. I will say that when Mike Okwe gave his ruling in 2020, there were many who disagreed with him, and there were many who benefited from that ruling. But when Speaker Bawumia responded to the statement made by our now majority leader and went ahead pursuant to Order 18 to communicate the vacancy of the 4 seats. In responding, he made some comments also, and his commentary was so persuasive that even those of us who questioned the propriety of Mike Okwe's action in 2020 became convinced that indeed Mike Okwe was right. I'm one of those that in 2020 publicly disagreed with Mike Okwe. I believe it was because Mike Okwe did not articulate his position very well. And when Speaker Bawumia responded to the statement and communicated the vacancy of the seats, and in doing so made some statements, his arguments or his commentary in relation to Article 97 1G was very, very persuasive, very, very persuasive, especially his position that if Article 97 is applicable to the next Parliament, then it becomes a useless provision. It's not necessary. And those who provided for it in the Constitution could not have intended to engage in a useless exercise. So I can assure you that we are not convinced because Michael created it. We are convinced because we now see wisdom in the provision in
yo ofa to so mienu na ye de bro no na omo to aso e de omo nhyehyeye a omo wo e de ye de betu dwana nsa hyehye yi na omo list e some politics bi a omo ba be de omo ba be yi afri wonum and some taxes, rubbish taxes be, sorry for my words, rubbish taxes be a omo de ye de omo de to ho no omo be de omo be yi afri no maka ho nsem be bra chese enya going to Mr. subscribe ya Mr. say Jibril subscribe like Judgės no share nema for friends and can be please click on the notification bell so that be ya the any news be at platform so I want so one the air call and the air but Judgės no air to answer yanko near konkoti
the constitution and the action of those who drafted our constitution.
Yes, thank you. We take three more. We take three more. We come this way. We'll go. Yes,
thank you, leader. My name is Arinan Ponsan, and I work with Addo TV. My question is for third hearing. Even though Speaker Bawumia cited evidences of these MPs reported to have vacated their actions, wouldn't that be better for the Speaker to have heard from them before acting? The argument of the fact that they acted on nothing because officially they have not received letters from their political parties.
Thank you very much. Next.
I want to find out in the unlikelihood that the Speaker decides to uphold the Supreme Court's decision, what would this cause do?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Next.
Thank you. My name is Kwaku Sentinel, so I work for GhanaMPs.com. My simple question, I'm a bit worried. This particular parliament started with a fight. And
started with what?
Okay. And looking at where you are going before the lifespan of this parliament, and would you end with a fight?
No. If we are fighting against poverty, corruption. Thank you. The last one, then the leadership will take.
Thank you. Your colleague Makin argues that you made a statement and that decisions are taken if it is a motion, and yours was a statement, and so the Speaker's ruling is against the orders of the House. What is your response?
Okay, let me start. As always, I'll be starting. Colleagues will fill in. Thank you very much for the questions. Let me start with the one from Addo FM, Addo TV. These persons in question, the four former MPs, they were in the House, some of them. They have representations as leadership. They are either with the majority or minority. None of them denied the fact that they have contested as independent candidates or have moved from independent to a political party. So what else do we want the Speaker to do? So, and the evidence are out there. They are colleagues. We know they have contested. It's a matter of fact. So it's not something that someone is sitting somewhere and concocting a story or as such. It is a matter of fact, and they could not deny it. To date, they've not been able to deny it. Number two, you raised the issue with what my colleague, Honorable Afenyo Maken, apparently may have said. I doubt he made that kind of pronouncement, because obviously it is not up to him to interpret the standing orders of the House. He can speak to it, but the decision is not up to him. It is for the Speaker to interpret the standing orders of our House. So you can rule him out of order with what he said. And then the last one, as to whether we will fight. The only thing we'll fight has to do with the fight against corruption. We'll fight corruption, but we won't fight. We don't intend to fight in the chamber. We don't intend to fight. We only fight corruption and protect the Constitution. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you.
Just to add to that, if you notice on that fateful day of the beginning of this parliament, it was government that ordered the military and the police to enter the chamber and assault members of parliament. Indeed, my colleague, honorable, colleague, filed a motion for those individuals of which we have details of those military officers and what they did in the chamber. But I can guarantee you it's not yet sunset on those issues. Just to add, we are aware that between yesterday and today, government, some elements of government have had a meeting again to deploy the military to the precincts of parliament to enter the tent. We are aware of that. We can just ask those around the Accra Sports Stadium that at a point in time tomorrow, they repeat the same misconduct. We can guarantee them the people of this country are sovereign. If you wear a military uniform or police uniform, you work to the constitution. But they should be aware that the life of this government is less than 2 months. They will have to account for their conduct in 2020 and whatever they do tomorrow. But they shouldn't be surprised the people of this country would react forcefully to any misconduct of anybody in uniform on Tuesday and beyond. Thank you. We take the last batch of questions if you have any. Yes.
Last batch. And then after that we'll do this pre-version.
Leader, Tuesday, both of you are returning to the chamber. I'm talking about both sides. And of course, the decisions are varied. Doesn't whatever happens on Tuesday rest with the speaker? Do you have indication as to how the speaker will allow things to pan out? Because the decision as to whether what happened at the court holds or doesn't rest with the speaker, and what will be your expectation of the speaker?
Thank you. Next question. Should we say that's the final question?
Yes.
Before we do that?
Yes. Okay. Look, I'm not the Speaker of Parliament, and I cannot preempt the Speaker. I don't know his intention. All what I can assure you is that the NDC majority believes that we are the majority, and we'll do just that. We'll protect what has been given to us lawfully. Nothing more, nothing less. Apart from that, let's wait for the Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, yes, our colleague, Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Amako Kibwa, will do a short account rendition.
May body tough on the crowd. Now, the Majority Leader, I can say 4 members of Parliament, Honorable Kwachiaka, Honorable Asante, Honorable Mamde Morris, and Honorable Andrew Esiema. 4 members of Parliament, I call Honorable Esiema, if he independent, I could join MPP or file it. 3 other members, no, if he political party do more file it independent. Yembra no, ye wonu constitution no. Article 97 1 G and H. HSS omuyesa no HSS say omu advocate omu seat na speaker nso wo hu to me say otisa say oma yeti wo parliament wo hwe ye stand order na enu nti na speaker tutu saa na mo ye speaker ye ni nyina ewo mra kwan so say na so ye na ba no saa no nti no ama ye NDC fo na ye minority no se sia ye majority ye ho adoso ase MPP fo wo hwe mra mu no ati sia no che se ye oha aduasansia na MPP fo ye oha aduasa enum ama ye akoye majority na saa majority na ye mra kwan so na de ama ye na nyade a ye betutu mu fom se the leader kai no ye begina say ye majority ne aye niema majority ye beye niema ebeboa Ghana man na ye ma obia emetiatia ye mfa hodi so ye gidi se speaker ni decision na o make ye no e mra kwan so obia entumi nsisa no na ye begina say ye majority going forward madamasi na ye majority nso ye nya no ye bebo modern ase sa amerikitwa ye de be ye niema bia ye nim say ha Ghana for example tax amene yen bibi ti say yi levy bibi say betting tax e be jutu ana more than didn't tentema make sure say samra ni nyina ya sesa na amaga na fo ho ato the ones.
Okay. Question. We want to thank you
the majority in Parliament has just addressed the press conference to set the records straight. As far as the majority is concerned, the ruling by the Speaker still holds, and that the NDC forms the majority in Parliament. Again, they have also made it emphatic that on Tuesday they are going to defend Parliament and, of course, defend the Constitution. And so what they have basically done is to send a message, means that the NDC will protect the Constitution, will defend the ruling by the Speaker of Parliament, and also the decision or the action taken by the court is unconstitutional. And because the action taken by the court is unconstitutional, there is no way they expect to obey the stay of execution by the 5 panel member of the Supreme Court. They have also said that whatever it takes to defend it will happen. They have also sent a very strong message to the Ghana Armed Forces that should they be used for anything differently, they will resist it. And if nothing changes at law, what they will do is to make sure that if there is change in government, they will do. So that's how we bring you a wrap of the press conference held by the majority in Parliament.
How can we solve the unemployment crisis in Ghana? Yes, Massa.
Yo, Jumedian and Pompons winning and you subscribe, like it, Jumedian, share them out for and so and son. Please click on the notification bell and so send the news be at platforms and so I want so one who the air call and the air but the air call so and the Peter and the kind aha and the Jumedian busy. But there is more stories attached to it. This I pepper say Obeja Brena Wako Naija Washaso Noashi Jumediano at the Maya fee about to have so POG Media open anything concerning about Ghana and politics, democracy, and BBN, ha and Kwana where they will be. Please, Macram.